Hey, today we're going to talk about size boundaries. So, size boundaries are one of the primary components that make up the advanced ladder and also the frame fit models. So, we have, I'll just scroll down to where the size boundaries can be controlled for the ladder model and the advanced ladder model and also the frame fit model. It works basically exactly the same for the two models. In this video, I'm going to talk about it living the advanced ladder model, but it works exactly the same. So, what are size boundaries? Why do we have it? Why we have built it? And what it's going to actually, like what it does to really help you as a merchant out to price your signs as effectively and accurately as possible. So, off the top of the bat, size boundaries really all they are allow you to control in a multi-dimensional aspect, multi-dimensional being width, length, height, a boundary where if the sign is inside that boundary, it will apply the chosen pricing formulas. Now, what are the pricing formulas? Well, for the advanced ladder model, they allow you first to control the ladder pricing. So there are two options here. So we can do the fixed cost per ladder, or we can do the ladder material cost. Now, in another video, I will go through and explain more about how ladder material cost works. But yeah, for fixed ladder cost, it's as simple like, $5 per ladder. Don't think I explain that much more, but we do have the actual formula for ladder material cost, and we do have the formulas for the next part, which is our sign dimension pricing, shipping unit price. So what is that? Basically, we found that a lot of merchants throughout the world price their signs simply by cubic meter or squared meter, cm squared and cm cubed. So we measure on a per centimeter level just for that bit more accuracy. But yeah, it's the same. The math is all the same. And, again, we provide the exact formula that we use. So all you're setting here is the unit price and, the unit price for each one, and it works it out with the formula dynamically calculating the size. Again, I won't explain much more in this video about how these exact pricing formulas work. They are in separate videos that will be found in the YouTube series that I'm creating for this. But what they are is that they formulas, pricing formulas that when it comes to a size boundary, if a sign is inside of that size boundary, it will use the chosen formulas. So in this case, the chosen letter pricing and the chosen sign dimension pricing, and we'll incorporate those formulas for the final sign price calculation. So that is in a very like simple terms, but I kind of like, before we go much further, just to really clearly articulate the individual inputs and how to control this, I built a tool that I want to show you. Alrighty, so I built this tool to kind of clearly articulate or illustrate, I should say, is how size boundaries actually work. So the brown package that keeps scaling in size is your sign that is inside a package. So like just a normal package that you would use to ship the sign in to your customers. Okay, so that's including the foam inserts or anything else that you've used to pad the box. It's the final box size. Okay, now what I'm doing in this illustration is that I am trying to show you how when a package grows in either the width, the height, or the length, and I'm just animating one at a time automatically, it will basically, as you can see, it's the size range, so the size boundary is green, and that will be active. So as you can see, that as it gets smaller and larger, the size ranges become active. And so what will occur is we've got 3 size ranges. When a package is the smallest size range, size boundary will be active. And as it grows, so any dimension, width, length, or height, so any dimension, when it grows past the boundary, the size boundary, that next boundary is going to become active. And so, as I was saying before, all the pricing formulas will basically be applied to that final package dimension. So this is kind of like, fundamentally how size boundaries work, and in relation to the pricing formulas. One other thing that I should mention is as a package extends beyond the last size range, what's going to happen is that size range, the final one, is going to be active, no matter how much larger the package grows in terms of size beyond that final size range. So that is something important to consider as well when setting up your pricings using the advanced ladder model and also the frame fit model. Righty, so let's jump back to the admin and let's focus on the size boundaries and how you can control them using the admin. So just to start off, I've already created some demo data for, I've got 4 size boundaries here, and I am using the CM squared pricing formula with the fixed cost per letter pricing as well. So what does that mean? Basically, for each size boundary, you'll be able to click on one and you'll be able to bring up and control the details or the individual options. So the first option is the ability to select your boundaries in terms of centimeters. So, and that is setting, you always are setting the maximum because it is a boundary, right? So you're setting the max limit to where that boundary would apply to. And these options, the width and height and the length, will be determined by the sign dimension pricing formula that you use. So if you're just using the CM squared formula, that allows only because it's like a flat parcel. So that it's so when we say flat parcel, it's like like a 2D plane that you're measuring on. Can work really well for poster signs or signs that the length is quite thin and doesn't really affect the shipping prices so much. And sometimes because it's just easier to use, so merchants like to just focus on the 2 dimensions. Okay, so then we also have the volumetric CM squared, CM cubed version, and that's a volumetric parcel. So that's obviously using the width, height, and length dimension. So now that that is in play, or you select it, you will be able to control the length dimension as well on the size boundaries. So in this case, because we are using the advanced letter model, we currently don't allow the sign, or like the individual option, sorry, to control the actual length dynamically. So we basically set a fixed sign length. So that means for the advanced letter models, the length that you set here is always going to be that length, where these are actual maximum boundaries. So I will now go into our lightbox sign to clearly more illustrate the size ranges for utilizing the length-based property as well. Right, I am viewing a lightbox customizer type. We can go into the pricing, and we will change it to the volumetric CM cubed based formula. And so now we can see the size boundaries and how they relate on the width, height, and the length. So when you click onto a boundary, you are able to change the maximum width, height, and length. You can adjust these properties per boundary. And you can then also adjust so the options that are available here and in the size pricing, sign pricing inputs, and the packaging allowances, and even the dimensional pricing. So all these values will relate to this given boundary, and we kind of clearly show the summary of all those inputs that you set per boundary on each of the boundary items as well, to make it a bit more clear. You're setting these boundaries. You can adjust them. If you adjust one, like, let's just say, let's change the length to 100 on the first one. So what's going to happen is, that's fine, you can do that. Then the boundary that is the next one in that list, it currently has set the max length to only 90. So we have to fix error. So we're going to clearly show that to you, and we're going to say that, hey, this length needs to be changed. We do that for all these properties as well, to make it just really as simple as and intuitive to utilize. So then when you change that, it's fixed the error, and so then you can continue on. Now that it's not greater than, and the length is not greater in the smaller size boundary, then that is fine. No errors are in place here. Clicking on. So we'll talk about quickly the packaging allowances, how that kind of relates to the size boundary. So before, I mentioned briefly with the package, your sign lives in that package. Obviously, you've got like foam inserts or anything else to increase the size of the package. That is where you can use these properties again on each dimension, the length, width, and height. And this will make the final size of that package. This will increase that final size. And once that sign is so let's say the sign is determined to be 50 by 50 by 50. If you add just 10 to each one, it's now going to be 60 by 60 by 60. And then we'll also, based on that, will then be determined on which size range, the size boundary. Size range, size boundary, they're the same thing. Really, they're just different terminology, I should add. And so that's kind of like how that works. That's just a little bit more of a helpful input that allows you to size your packages more accurately. And then finally, you can set your shipping unit price, is what we said before. Again, based on the chosen formula that you used, e.g. cm squared or cm cubed. You'll be able to adjust the values here. So I'm going to have a bit another video that articulates this much more clearly. It kind of explains it, walks you through the whole process. But yeah, for today, I just want to talk about size boundaries and how that really works in our app, so that you've got as much of an understanding and can just hit the ground running with it all.